Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syarifah Syarfina with NIM 2024-3252 from Class B Information System Major. In this video, I will explain to you about my forecasting project. First step is import library. I import several libraries that are needed to forecasting project. First is request library used to retrieve weather data from OpenMeteo API. Next is pandas used to organize the data into data frame. And I use matplotlib to visualize data in graphs. And I import the ARIMA model from stats model to build the forecasting model. And mean square error from sklearn to evaluate the prediction accuracy using RMSA. And next step, I retrieve data from the API. In this step, I retrieve daily maximum temperature data for Jakarta from the OpenMeteo Archive API. The URL contains information such as the location, coordinates, the data range, and the weather variable that I want to collect, which is the daily maximum temperature. And after sending the request using the request library, the API returns the data in JSON format for further processing. Next step, I will convert JSON into a data frame. After receiving the JSON data from the API, I convert into a pandas data frame. I selected two important columns. First is the date and the daily maximum temperature. Then I convert the data column into datetime format and set as data frame index. Next step is save the dataset. In this step, I save the process data into CSV file. Saving data to reuse the data without downloading it again from the API. Next step, I will visualize the time series data. Next, I create a line chart to visualize the daily maximum temperature over time. The x-axis represents the date, and while the y-axis represents the temperature in degrees Celsius. And next step, I will split the dataset. Before training the ARIMA model, I divide the dataset into training data and testing data. 80% of the data used to train model, while 20% was reserved for testing. Next step is build the ARIMA model. In this step, I build ARIMA model with the parameters 2, 1, and 2. This parameter represents the autoregressive, differencing, and moving average components of the model. After defining the model, I train it using the training dataset. The model summary was then displayed to show the estimated parameters and statistical information. Next step is I will predict the testing data. After the model was successfully trained, I use it to predict the testing dataset. The number of predict values is the same as the number of testing observation. Next step is evaluate the model. To evaluate the model performance, I calculate the root mean square error or RMSA. RMSA measures the average difference between the predict values and the actual values. A smaller RMSA indicates better prediction accuracy. In this project, the RMSA value show how well the ARIMA model predicts daily maximum temperature. Next is visualize the prediction result. In this step, I compare the actual data and the predict data using a line chart. The blue line represents the actual temperature value, while the orange line represents the predict value generated by the ARIMA model. This comparison helps us visually evaluate how closely the prediction follow the actual data. Next step is forecast the next 7 days. After evaluating the model, I use it to forecast the daily maximum temperature for the next 7 days. I generate future dates and pair them with the predicted temperature values. The forecast results were then stored in a new data frame for further visualization and saving. Next step is visualize the future forecast. In this step, I create a graph showing both the historical temperature data and the forecast for the next 7 days. The historical data provides a reference while the forecast is displayed in a different color to clearly future prediction. Next step, I will save the forecast result. I save the forecasting result into CSV file. The file contains the forecast dates and the predicted maximum temperature for the next 7 days. Saving the results makes the forecast easier to access, analyze, and include in practical report. And I think it's enough from me. Thank you so much for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.